Hi everyone, it's Maggie, Grammy with a hammer, and today I'm doing another DIY fix. The grout in my shower, never fails, it just keeps crumbling. I don't know if it's how I mix the grout, what type of grout I'm buying. I'm done. So we are hoping to be able to put our house on the market and get ready to move near the grandbabies. But to do that, I need to fix this grout issue. So I have seen a lot about these epoxy and these almost epoxy grouts. I went to my local Floor and Decor, looked around there and spoke to them, and I found this. It's really heavy, but it's SpectraLock 1, and it's not actually epoxy. So it pre-mixed grout with epoxy performance. So it's epoxy adjacent. But this is approved to use in swimming pools and hot tubs, so we're gonna try it in a shower. It's supposed to be able to go over existing grout. Most of the, it's for those pebbles on the bottom of your shower. Most of them had popped off, so I had to take everything out and re-mortar them to the floor. But there is some that were still stuck that have a little bit of grout that I'll go over the top of. But it's supposed to be easy to use. You put it on, wipe it away, and then 45 minutes come back and do another wash, and then it cures within 48 hours, and it's not supposed to need to be sealed. You're not supposed to need ventilation. It's got microban in it. It's stain resistant or retardant or whatever. It says no mixing, easy and safe to use. So I got this, and I got a float, and I got some sponges. Now I will film some of me doing it, but I'm not gonna have a mic on because I am gonna have the fans going. Even though they say you don't need ventilation, I'm not gonna push my luck, okay? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try grout in that area. So hold on, I'll set up the camera there, and what I'll do is I'll play some nice music. I don't know what kind of music, whatever music is copyright free, you know what I mean, from the YouTube. So be back in a minute. Okay, so this is day 2. I laid the grout. I did a wash of it. It says to let it cure for 48 hours. So I'm coming back because you know the grout that film it leaves. So I'm gonna try take and see if I can get more of that film off so that tomorrow night it'll be ready to go. So, but I'll show you where I'm at. Okay, so I think it came out pretty good. Am I an expert? No, but I think it gets the job done. I like this grout so far. It's been pretty easy to lay, though I don't think it's, I mean, it was pre-mixed, so that made it easier, but I don't think it's really any much difference on the washing thing than right. Okay, so far with this grout, laying it, other than the fact that it was pre-mixed, I didn't have to mix it because we know what a pain in the butt that is. But I don't find laying it was any easier or more difficult than other grouts. Washing it might have been a little bit easier, but I don't really think it was much easier either. It did say that you could lay it over previous grout. And so around with my other tiles, I scraped it a little bit and put it on, but it doesn't seem to have took everywhere. So I think it has to be like a certain depth to be able to lay it on top of old grout, because it didn't seem to take everywhere, which is fine. The other grout was absolutely fine. It was this rock, these pebbles, that was having the issues. So I think that's good. But yeah, I'm gonna do a quick wipe down with a very slightly damp sponge to see if we can get some of the haze up. And then tomorrow should be good to go. And then I will come back in a couple days after, using it to let you know if it worked, if it took, or if it was a waste of my time. Okay, so I'll be back with you again. What do you say, 2 days? And that should be like a whole 72 hour, so that'll be, can't add today. That'll be, let's see, spend 24, 48, 72, 96. So yeah, so it'll be like 4 days, 5 days since installation. We should be able to figure out if it's working or not. So I'll get back to you shortly. Well, for you it'll be shortly, me it'll be a couple days. Be back. Okay, so I'm back. It's been a few days. It's hardened, it's cured. We've showered in it. It hasn't cracked, it hasn't fallen apart. So this is my final review and opinion on the SpectraLock 1. The one that's supposed to have epoxy performance, even though it's not epoxy. First of all, there wasn't harsh fumes. I didn't get sick. I didn't get nauseous, any of that. So it was true when it said that it doesn't have the fumes and everything of epoxy. They said to use a float. I'll be honest, putty knife probably worked better than a float. Maybe for a larger surface, but where I was just doing that small surface in the shower, this made it much easier to scoop. Cleaning up wise, I really don't feel it was much different than traditional grout. Applying, I feel, was smoother. It had more of almost like a frosting feel when I applied it. But yeah, overall, much easier to work with than grout. I felt like when you scoop inside, it just was, this was much neater to apply, but then the final cleanup, the washing, you still got the haze if you didn't do it right, all of that jazz. But the application, all of that really was easy. There was no fumes. I would recommend this. I'll tell you, it's expensive. I paid like $100 for this bucket. Now it's a gallon, and you can do a lot with a gallon. So, but I think it was worth it, not having to mix everything, not have to worry about all that crap, because I swear I can never get it quite right. It's a set, it's got a nice like plastic thing you put on the top of it that keeps it to stay moist. So that's my opinion. I think it's a granny go. So let me know if you think so too. Talk to you later. Bye.
Was it smooth like when you put icing on a cupcake? That's smooth?
That's smooth. I can't even.